Just ahead on IU NewsNet, how Hurricane Irma in Florida is affecting students and visitors to IU, and even forcing a change in the Hoosiers' football schedule.
And some students are investing in bigger and better bike locks. We will look into an increase of bicycle theft on campus and how you can protect your wheels.
Going out for ice cream might not be so sweet anymore. Why a vanilla bean shortage is affecting Bloomington ice cream shops. IU NewsNet is straight ahead. Hello and welcome to IU NewsNet. I'm Eady.
And I'm Evan Wang.
Just into IU NewsNet, current IU student and former IU wide receiver Camion Patrick is under arrest on a preliminary homicide charge. Patrick and his brother Isaiah Patrick Wright are each charged with 1 count of criminal homicide. Police say they are both connected to the fatal stabbing of Caleb Thomas Radford on July 25th in Patrick's home state of Tennessee. Patrick transferred to IU in 2015 and was redshirted during the 2016 season due to injury. He was expected to serve as the running back for the 2017 season, but was granted a medical hardship, ending his IU football career. Patrick's sudden arrest comes as a shock to many IU students.
It kind of was super abrupt, not something that I expected to get onto my social media and see, but I'd be interested to hear kind of the background of the story, what exactly is going on. You know, I hate to see negativity transpire.
Only twice have I ever heard of IU football players being convicted of any serious crimes. So yes, definitely think it's rare.
Police are holding Patrick at the Monroe County Correctional Facility, and they plan to transfer him to lockup in Tennessee. We will have further updates on this breaking story here on IU NewsNet. Hurricane Irma barreled through the Caribbean and Florida this past weekend, tearing up homes, businesses, and lives.
And it's affecting lives of some people right here on the IU campus in Bloomington. IU NewsNet Laura Puglisi joins us with that story.
The storm that began as a Category 5 hurricane left millions homeless, powerless, and helpless. And for some students and visitors to the IU campus, it's personal. What now looks like a river was 1 week ago IU student Talia Fetner's neighborhood in Jacksonville, Florida. She says Hurricane Irma left her entire town nearly underwater.
A lot of my friends, they were walking through their houses literally above their knees. Their couches were completely covered and like up to here. And it completely flooded into the streets, and so they can only kayak to each other's houses.
Last weekend, Hurricane Irma battered through Florida with 140-mile-per-hour winds, forcing 6.5 million Florida residents to evacuate.
If you have been ordered to evacuate, you need to leave now.
It's a mess from Jacksonville south to the Keys, where 10,000 people remain stranded.
We've never had flooding like this.
Miami resident Cameron Ivory went ahead with plans to visit IU the weekend the storm was set to hit. He said he took proper precautions before leaving for Indiana.
I'm kind of joking about it, but I'm also in the back of my mind like this is not good. Like I may not have a house, like some of my friends could get really hurt.
Cameron's expecting to go home to damage.
My house is probably going to be very wet.
But his return flight was canceled.
I'm pretty much at American Airlines' will. I can go home when they allow me to.
By Saturday, the storm's path shifted west, and cities like Miami just missed a direct hit, while cities like Tampa, Fort Myers, and Naples bore the brunt of the damage.
With nearly the entire state of Florida declared a disaster area, experts say it could take years to fully recover. Watching the misery from a safer spot in Indiana, Talia says, makes it easier in some respects and harder in others.
I wish I was there with them because my mom gets really nervous, and my sister, I have like a little sister and a little brother, so it's like scary that they have to deal with it. But I think my parents are really happy that I'm here, and it's like a kind of a weight lifted off their shoulders that I'm safe.
Cam was able to fly back to Miami last night, and he said that aside from the flooding, his home is okay. And now forecasters are closely watching Hurricane Jose, which has been trailing Hurricane Irma and could swing around and hit Florida or the East Coast.
Wow, so much has transpired in such a short period of time.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a lot happening all at once, but everybody seems to be okay.
And we heard the FIU game is canceled. So what is the update out there.
The FIU game is canceled this weekend. We'll have more updates on that later, but there will be no game this weekend. It's been a lot of chaos with traveling, so there will be no game.
Okay. Thank you so much, Laura.
Thanks.
One of the largest hacks in U.S. history stands to affect your credit, and cyber experts say it puts millions at risk of identity theft. Equifax, which is supposed to protect consumers from credit fraud, disclosed that hackers stole the personal financial information of 143 million Americans. This includes names, birth dates, home addresses, social security numbers, and even driver's license numbers. Independent security consultants say the hackers exploited a weak point in the website software, and the breach could put consumers at risk of identity theft for years. IU experts say it's a sign of the times.
It is a frustrating reality today that we really don't have control over the security of our personal financial information.
He strongly encourages everyone to check the status of their personal information and to purchase a credit freeze to prevent potential identity theft. You can check the status of your personal information by visiting www.equifaxsecurity2017.com.
The Trump administration's decision to possibly repeal DACA is leaving some IU students uncertain about their future. DACA is a program that grants protection to the children of undocumented immigrants, kids who grew up in the U.S. The student group Undocu Hoosiers Bloomington says some of their members who benefit from DACA are concerned about what might happen when their current papers expire.
There are a lot of students specifically who are now completely uncertain what it's going to look like. The threat to have their work permits taken away, their driver's license taken away, their ability to education, those are all things that quite literally impact every aspect of their life.
IU President Michael McRobbie released a statement saying, "We also want to ensure all DACA students that we remain fully committed to ensuring a welcoming, safe, and civil community for all IU students." Additionally, the university made a list of resources available at daca.iu.edu. A former IU student is starting a petition drive to remove a mural inside of an IU lecture hall. What some people consider historic, others consider controversial. The mural is located inside room 100B in Woodburn Hall, and part of it portrays KKK members during a cross burning. The KKK had roots at Indiana, but the mural is a source of discomfort for some. Former student Jacqueline Barry says the mural has no place in a lecture hall. She started an online petition demanding its removal.
I'm just saying there needs to be a different environment where people can choose what they're exposing themselves to that isn't forced upon them when they're sitting there in a class trying to learn something where the mural isn't being discussed.
Barry suggests a museum is a proper location for the mural. IU released a statement saying the university believes the mural serves as a reminder of the unsavory part of Indiana's history. The statement goes on to say IU will offer support and any other resources for any student or staff members that experiences issues with the mural.
There's a new position at the IU Police Department. An officer is in charge of diversity and inclusive recruitment. Wang James, who is chief of the IU PD Northwest campus, took on the role at the beginning of September. He says he will extend the diversity recruitment to all 7 IU campuses.
Coming up, IU student radio station officially becomes a part of the media school. Will brand new equipment make up for the change in station culture? We will look it up.
And one of the lowest cost daycare options for IU faculty and students is going away. We'll tell you why ahead on IU NewsNet. Lock up that bicycle. IU police say bicycle thefts are up, and the rise started the week before school began for the semester. IU PD sent a crime notice to all students last week about the theft of 29 bikes, 7 in the first 3 days of that week alone. The captain for IU PD Bloomington says the majority of the bike thefts are in residential areas, especially at night. Police say dorms on the north side of campus are in the high-risk area. They remind students to always lock their bike frames to the racks with cables or case-hardened U-locks.
I think people need to invest in some better quality locks, maybe even use 2 locks to make sure that they get the frame and the wheels secure.
Besides investing in better locks, IU students can also rent bike lockers in some residence halls.
The ongoing road constructions between Indianapolis and Bloomington took center stage this week. Hundreds of people showed up to Martinsville High School for a meeting to discuss the final schedule for Section 6 of the I-69 construction along State Road 37. That's the next phase, from Indianapolis to Martinsville. It stands to affect homeowners and business along the road. Representatives of the Indiana Department of Transportation outlined efforts to keep disruptions to a minimum. They encouraged members of the public to put the concerns in writing. The WIUX student radio station has made a move from their long-term home into the media school. The student media station was previously located in a local house near campus and has transitioned into a workplace in Franklin Hall. But controversy surrounding the move left some members feeling forced into the change. Despite the proposal from the media school, some WIUX members felt their home was being taken away and were reluctant to move.
But we have better opportunities and better resources going forward, so I think it may be a setback initially. It may seem that way to us right now, but as we get used to being in here and taking advantage of the things that are here for us, I think it'll be better for us long term.
The decision for the move came from the office of the provost and the dean of the media school. Now in their new space, WIUX hopes to grow as an organization and maintain their original sound. U.S. News & World Report released their annual Best College ranking for 2018. 3 Indiana schools made it in the top 100 national universities. IU Bloomington is ranked number 90, Purdue West Lafayette is ranked number 56, and Notre Dame is ranked number 18. Both IU and Notre Dame are ranked lower than they were last year, but Purdue is ranked several spots higher.
The popular Bloomington ice cream shop is limiting their sale of vanilla bean items. Store owners of Hartzell's Ice Cream have decided to cut back due to a vanilla bean shortage in Madagascar. Since the shortage, prices for the product have surged. Now Hartzell's is taking measures to conserve their vanilla products in hopes the cutback won't affect business.
We just have kind of cut off larger sales for individual purchases like the milkshakes and bulk sales to customers that aren't in the restaurant industry, just to kind of conserve the supply that we do have.
Though the supply of vanilla bean remains low, the demand for the product continues to rise. Hartzell's offers more than 40 flavors of ice cream and plans to push an alternative French vanilla flavor if the shortage continues. A low-cost childcare option for IU faculty, staff, and students will shut down in August of next year. Knee-High Cooperative Daycare is operated and run by the parents who use it. They take turns volunteering their time. In exchange, it costs them about $250 a month per child. That's about half the cost of the traditional nationally accredited campus daycare centers, those run by child care professionals. Knee-High is a state licensed facility, but new rules require it to be nationally accredited in order to accept more families. So the co-op is closing.
It's because something about the certificate things, but we are not sure about that. I think we are good. It's super helpful for community family.
IU Provost Lauren Rebel says the university plans to expand its accredited childcare options, but families say they like the interaction with their children as well as the low cost, and they say they will miss the co-op. Still ahead on IU NewsNet, several Hoosier teams bring home victories and set records. The latest just ahead in sports.
And when they aren't shooting goals on the field, the men's soccer team is helping others reach their goals. Stay with us.
After last week's victory in Virginia, the Hoosiers were looking forward to this Saturday's game against Florida International. But Hurricane Irma put a kink in those plans.
Mike Kiley joins us now with sports.
Thanks, guys. Hurricane Irma left a path of destruction, a massive cleanup, and it's making travel to and from Florida, well, a mess. In light of the storm, IU and FIU officials decided to cancel the game in Bloomington this Saturday. IU will now compete against Charleston Southern University at Memorial Stadium October 7th during what was scheduled to be the team's bye week. But IU football is coming off a win. The team defeated Virginia 34-17 on Saturday, and the story of the game was redshirt freshman Peyton Ramsey. Ramsey threw 16 of 20 for 173 yards and 2 touchdowns, and also ran in one 26-yard TD. Ramsey entered the game after starting QB Richard Lago went 3 for 10 with an interception in the fourth quarter.
This program does not care who gets the credit. It is not about one guy. And I saw Richard Lago cheering on his teammates the entire time. And he understands LEO. That's to me, that's living it out in front of a lot of people. So Peyton was playing well, was moving the team, and so we stayed with him.
The Hoosier football team looks to continue the winning trend the next home game a week from Saturday against Georgia Southern. After another winning weekend in Evansville, the women's volleyball team remains undefeated. They started the weekend with a 3-0 victory against Evansville on Friday, followed by another 3-0 win versus UT Martin. Then they beat University of Alabama Birmingham 3-1 on Saturday. The volleyball team will be coming to play the Hoosier Classic this weekend, starting this Friday against UNLV. The field hockey team won a tightly contested match this Sunday in Bloomington. The opponent, Miami of Ohio. Miami took an early 1-0 lead in the first half, but the Hoosiers rallied back to tie the game at 2 with only 10 minutes left in regulation. The game would be decided in overtime with an Indiana score to win 3-2. The girls are now preparing to take on Maryland this Friday at 3 p.m. on home turf. Women's soccer had a successful road trip this weekend in Texas, where they beat number 23 ranked Southern Methodist University with a late goal 1-0 and playing a 0-0 draw to North Texas. Up next, the women's team continues on the road to Michigan, where they face the Spartans in East Lansing and the Wolverines in Ann Arbor. The men's team is now undefeated in their first 6 games for the second straight year. IU's number 1 ranked men's soccer team tied 0-0 last Friday against the number 3 team in the nation in Maryland. IU defender Grant Lillard played a big role in the draw and the team's Big Ten leading 4th shutout of the season, earning him Top Drawer Soccer's National Player of the Week honors. The team played to another draw Wednesday night against number 18 Michigan 1-1. The Hoosiers now get ready to take on Northwestern in Evanston this coming Sunday afternoon. From the soccer field to the dance floor, the Hoosier soccer team is teaming up with IUDM this season to help raise awareness for critically ill children at Riley Hospital. Reporter Courtney Robb has the story.
The IU men's soccer team had an opportunity to give back before they took the field on Sunday. In collaboration with Indiana University Dance Marathon, the Hoosiers hosted a For the Kicks night to help raise awareness for childhood cancer.
I think our players feel like they don't get as many opportunities to do things with the student body. This is kind of their way to go, okay, we can contribute by just doing our best and performing well. And, you know, they wore the shirt in the warm-up. They took pride in that. That was a real nice thing.
In the effort to raise awareness as well as recruit dancers, players wore T-shirts during warm-ups and greeted Riley families on the field. Meanwhile, members of IUDM hosted a pre-game tailgate featuring food, games, and registration.
I think it's really big for us. It's going to be a good partnership, and I think it really helps both goals. I mean, getting students in. We have a lot of students, as well as a lot of students in IUDM are interested in sports and interested in this kind of thing.
Events like these are typically used to raise awareness as well as encourage involvement in IU Dance Marathon, but ultimately, these events are for the kids.
these kids. It's not just relationships that we have for however many years that we're in the marathon. These are lifelong relationships, and these events are just so special. I'm so thankful to be a part of them, and I know the kids, just like seeing their smiles on their faces, like there's nothing else like it.
For IU NewsNet, I'm Courtney Robb.
It's always rewarding to see athletes giving back, you guys.
Absolutely. I love to see the kids. They're so cute.
Oh yeah, and I'm sure the kids loved it as well.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mac.
Which famous singer, songwriter, and Nobel Peace Prize winner is going to come to IU this fall? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind, like his song. It's Bob Dylan. Dylan and his band will perform on October 29th at the IU Auditorium. Another legend in her own right, Mavis Staples, will open for him that evening. Tickets go on sale this Friday and start at $55.
That's it for IU NewsNet. I'm Evan Wang.
And I'm Alex Eady. Thanks so much for watching.